How's it going? We're going to continue on. Exodus chapter 20. Ten Commandments for Israel. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. When it says thou shalt not kill, it's talking about thou shalt not murder, right? As even in the Bible, there's times that Israel had to go to war, right, and kill people, right? So it's not talking about killing, it's talking about murder. You know, if you have to, as a Christian, if I have to defend myself and I end up killing somebody, not with the intent of killing them, but if I have to kill them to defend myself, that's not murder. Murder is the intent to take someone's life just because you feel like taking their life for whatever motive, right? Not self-defense. Going to war is not murder. There are certain things that you're called upon. You know, Israel was called upon to fight at different times, right? So going to war is not murder. Committing war crimes, that's murder, right? So to execute a village, right, just for the sake of, an officer gives you an order. Yeah, no, you morally have to say no to that order. Disregard that. Do not obey that order. That would be murder. Execution is execution as in capital punishment is not murder. It's I believe capital punishment is actually biblical. It's in the Bible too. If somebody, I'm in Canada, but down in the United States, there are certain states that have capital punishment, and if somebody murders somebody, they can go to death row, right? I fully support that. Thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So to make up stories about your neighbor or to lie about them, so that's bearing false witness. And your neighbor, according to Scripture, your neighbor is anyone you come in contact with. It's not just someone next door to you, someone you know. Your neighbor is anyone in the world that's considered your neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings, and the lightnings, and the noise of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. So when Moses is saying, fear not, for God has come to prove you, God is coming to test you, right? God's come to test you. Basically to test, I think, your hearts and your willingness to obey him. And the Lord said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. So when God says, ye shall not make with me gods of silver, he's meaning you shall not make in an image. And it's saying gods is in little g, right? So shall not make an image of an idol or something like that and worship it and call it God. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. Hewn is cut, right? So you won't make it out of, you won't cut out stone or design it in a certain way. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. Chapter 21. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. For if he were married, if he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. So basically, if he came into the servitude single, he will leave single. And if his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Now this here is when it's saying master and that. This isn't. This man's not a slave in the sense of like the Egyptians had the Hebrews their slaves, right? It's more in the sense of like a servant, right? So when it's talking about slavery in this sense, it's talking about servitude as in like a servant, right? So someone who serves his master's household, whatever that entails. Could be bringing him food, cooking him food, stuff like that. Don't exactly know. But it's not servitude or not slavery in the sense that his master's beating him and with a whip and he's, making him do all kinds of rigorous, brutal work and mistreating him and stuff like that. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. It's basically saying if the servant says plainly, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not leave. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, unto the doorpost. His master shall bore his ear through with an awl. It means some type of an awl, some type of sharp object that he basically pierces a hole right through there. That would be painful, especially because they wouldn't have had the numbing stuff that we have now, I don't think so. And he shall serve him forever. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed to sell her unto a strange nation. He shall have no power, seeing he hath dealt deceitfully with her. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters, meaning he will treat her like a daughter-in-law. Right? He's not going to treat her, you're going to treat her like family. He's not going to mistreat her and treat her like a slave girl or something like that. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall be he not diminish. So if he takes a second wife, he's not to neglect his first wife. Not that it's God never God may have permitted some people to have multiple wives. It's not what he wanted. It's not, he may have allowed it, but it wasn't his design or his will that people should do that. People are selfish, right? And if he do not these three unto her, then shall he go out free without money. And then shall she go out free without money. So basically, he's not to neglect her. And if he does neglect her and not fulfill his duty to her, the first wife, then he's to let her go. Right? She's free to go. He that smiteth a man so that he die, shall surely be put to death. He that smiteth a man so that he die, shall he surely be put to death. Basically, it's laws regarding murder. So he that a man that strikes another guy so that he dies. Basically, it's talking about he hits him with something or whatever, intending to kill him, right? Which is murder, right? With the evil intent of he wants to murder him, to end his life with evil intent. And if a man lie not in wait, but God deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar, that he may die. And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. So this was laws regarding servants. The first part, second part is laws regarding maidservants, laws regarding murder. I should have read that as I was going. Laws regarding other offenses. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So basically, someone kidnaps someone, right, and sells them as a slave, right? It's saying you must be put to death for that. And he that curseth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. And if men strive together, and one smite another with a stone or with his fist, and he did not, but keepeth his bed. If he rise again and walk abroad, and he die not, and he die not, but keepeth his bed. If he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be quit. Basically acquitted, right? He won't be executed. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. And if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. This is eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him. And he shall pay as the judges determine. Basically, it's saying if men strive, basically if men are arguing or fighting, and hurt a woman with child, so that she basically, her fruit, meaning her child in her womb, departs from her, meaning that if she ends up having an early birth, and yet no mischief falls, means the baby does not die. She has an early birth because of it, gets hurt and has an early birth because of it, and the baby's still alive. The person who hurt the woman shall be surely punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him. So the husband will decide what punishment it is. It's not death, obviously. And he shall pay as the judges determine. So basically, like whatever, probably referring to like some type of like money, right? And if any mischief follow, then shalt give life for life. Basically, but if the baby dies, then the guy is to be executed. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man smite the eye of his servant, or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. And if he smite out his manservant's tooth, or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake. Basically, if the master strikes his male servant or his female servant, they lose a tooth because of that, they're automatically, for that sake, he has to release. It means they're free to go free from his service. Laws regarding oxen. If an ox gore a man or a woman, that they die, then the ox shall be surely stoned. Basically, gore means if an ox comes and basically gets somebody with their horns, right? Gores them, like impales them with their horns or whatever. It attacks somebody and hurts them. That they die. Then the ox shall be surely stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be quit. So basically, the ox will be killed, but the meat is not to be eaten, and the owner will be quit, right? So the owner will be pardoned. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn in time past, and it hath been testified to his owner, and he hath not kept him in, but that he hath killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death. If there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him. Whether he have gored a son, or have gored a daughter, according to this judgment shall it be done unto him. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. And if one man's ox hurt another's, that he die, then they that shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also they shall divide. It means they'll divide it and, cook the meat up and eat it. Or if it be known that the ox hath used to push in time past, and his owner hath not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own. So basically, if this guy has an ox and it's known to be aggressive and attacking, people, animals, whatever, right? And he does not keep it penned in. He doesn't keep it secure where it can't get out and do harm. He's going to have to pay ox for ox, right? So he's going to have to give the guy an ox, not the one that did that, but, and the ox that did the thing is to be killed. Chapter 22. Laws regarding restitution. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. 4 sheep as in like 4, right? So, if a man shall steal an ox for a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. Yeah. So he has to restore a lot more than what he took to make it right. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. Basically, if a thief breaks into somebody's place, right, and they kill him, they're not held responsible for the thief's blood. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he shall make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft can be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, of the beast of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard shall he make restitution. If fire breaks out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass, or an ox, or a sheep, or any beast to keep, and it die, or be hurt, or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of the Lord be put between them both, that he hath not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and if it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good, if it be an hired thing, it came for his hire. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. Other laws. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. So save means except. So he that sacrifices unto any god, except unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. So whoever sacrifices to an idol will be utterly destroyed. They're to sacrifice only to God. Thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. Laws regarding usury, so basically lending, or giving people money. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. Basically, you're not going to sit there and be like a money lender, right, and demanding interest. If thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down. Basically, you have to give it back to him before the sun goes down, or by the time the sun goes down. For that is his covering only. It is his raiment for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep? And it shall come to pass, when he crieth unto me, that I will hear. For I am gracious. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits, and of thy liquors. The firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me. Likewise shalt thou do with thine oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day thou shalt give it me. And ye shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beast in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. Chapter 23. Laws regarding ethics. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many, to wrest judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. So basically, if you see man's ox or his donkey, wandering about, you're to take a hold of the beast, not like bring it back to the man, saying, this was wandering, here it is. If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him. Thou shalt not wrest the judgment of thy poor in his cause. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, and perverteth the words of the righteous. Basically, here it's talking about gift is, it's talking about you will not take a bribe, right? You're not to turn a blind eye to justice. You're not to take a bribe. You're supposed to judge rightly. This would be referring to those in positions like judges and stuff like that, right? That they're supposed to rule with integrity and honesty and decency. They're supposed to not turn a blind eye to justice. They're supposed to do the right thing no matter what in their ruling. Not to be bribed or anything. Also, and thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, and perverteth the words of the righteous. Also, thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. In 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. But the 7th year thou shalt let it rest, and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard, and with thy olive yard. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest, that thine ox and thine ass may rest, and the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, it means be careful, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. This is laws regarding ethics. Observance of 3 feasts. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the time appointed of the month Abib. For in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. And the empty means basically no one shall appear empty-handed. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field, 3 times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord God. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring into the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. Basically, you will not boil a baby goat or whatever in its mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before thee, to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. For mine angel shall go before thee, and bring thee in unto the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but thou shalt utterly overthrow them, and quite break down their images. And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in thy land. The number of thy days I will fulfill. I will send my fear before thee, and will destroy all the people to whom thou shalt come, and I will make all thine enemies turn their backs unto thee. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before thee. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. By little and little I will drive them out from before thee, until thou be increased, and inherit the land. And I will set thy bounds from the Red Rivers, from the Red Sea, even unto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out before thee. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee. God bless you guys.